Then we made this whole big bash for nothing?
Then why did I pay for this dinner?
Then why I brush my teeth?
Then why did I use up my best material on this shit?
About the Earth, 50 globes, each releasing its nerve gas, each capable of killing 100 million people. Seeing the kind of cell, a definite cosmic dynasty which hides
Hello, welcome to LTM Reviews, and welcome back to the 2000s marathon. And now for the last of the month, I know I wanted to do one more after this, but I didn't want to end it on something like a bad movie, so I want to go ahead and take a look at Where the Wild Things Are. Now, Where the Wild Things Are, for those who don't know, is based on a children's book I do reading a lot as a kid. I remember being introduced to it in kindergarten. And then when I heard there was going to be a movie, I was kind of curious because, like I said, I didn't know how, since I was a smart kid at the time, I didn't know how they can make make a short children's book based on a movie. Movies like Cat in the Hat didn't really do so well, but then I thought about it again, and then I knew that movies like Charlotte's Web did this pretty well. So I was kind of mixed onto it until I saw the trailer, and let me tell you, because of the dark, gritty look that it had, I actually got pretty excited. Now, I saw the movie when it first came out. It actually was pretty good. A little dark, but yeah, I was a brave kid at the time. I knew what to do. Anyways, looking back on it now, it's still a pretty impressive film. Now, it's not perfect. I mean, I wish they would have done more with some stuff, but we'll get to that in a second. So in the book, you got Max. He's a troublemaker. He wears this little wolf suit. He's wanted to become a wild thing, but then his mother says, I'll eat you. But his mother says to be quiet, and Max says, I'll eat you up, that kind of stuff in the book. In this one, this was a little more dramatic than the book. This one at least took some risks. Like, they did change a few things. Like, instead of involving him as a troublemaker, he's just a shy outcast. And he basically has a family, like in the book, except his family doesn't like him, don't give him much attention. He's kind of a handful, and he's very imaginative. That's his character trait. So technically, instead of his room turning into the forest, he runs away from home and ends up in the woods, and then imagines him in a boat, and then that's where he gets to the wild things instead of the book, which I wish they could have done that because I can see so many good possibilities with that, but it's an adaptation. So he meets these wild things, and everything seems to turn out okay. But sooner or later in the movies, things start to turn against him. Like, things are just getting cold and subtle and just not as fun as it used to be. And everything's just breaking apart, yeah. But it gets pretty dark here and there, yeah. I won't say what happens, but for a kid's movie like this, it's kind of hard to judge this as a kid's movie, because, this is the early 2000s, and I grew up in this area, and this is back when PG meant something, But anyways, Where the Wild Things Are is a very, very fun movie. Maybe not the best adaptation. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty more in the future, but so far, this is not a bad one. The characters are great. I do like the idea of giving the wild things names because in the book, they didn't really, each of them didn't have names, so I'm glad they at least gave them names. The effects on them are pretty good. They're likable. They're very funny. Their acting is really good. The Max kid isn't too bad either. I think they could have done more with him involving the family, but I think it's done enough. I'll dig it. So, if I did have one or two issues, I will admit that even though the background's on the island and in his world and his Earth world, I will admit it looks great, but there's not really much to it. I mean, I feel like we can explore a little more in these jungles and more sand, deserts, and all that. I wish we could explore more of that, but that's just one. The other thing is, well, I feel like it does kind of drag on a little bit. Like, some scenes kind of drag on. Like, we really, really need to get this emotional stuff out of the way, but I think it kind of does that pretty well. And I think Spike Jonze, the director of Being John Malkovich, an adaptation, did a wonderful job explaining the story a little bit of his perspective, and I like directors that do that. So overall, Where the Wild Things Are is a very fun, maybe not family movie, since technically, like I said, it's a little too dark, but maybe as a study, maybe more of a child's therapy type thing, because like I said, there's so much, the movie's fueled on emotions. So, I give Where the Wild Things Are an 8 out of 10. Not my favorite, but a good one. A very fun movie for those who like, it's more of a calm movie, if you can call it that. If you like calm movies like Charlotte's Web, or a subtle movie like say, Adaptation, you'll probably get into it. If you like Spike Jonze, I definitely recommend it too. So that's all for Back to the 2000s month. I hope you all enjoyed Back to the 2000s month of June. I'm sorry I didn't get to do all the movies because, like I said, I've got this new job going on. I've got so many things planning for college. I'm getting busy. So, but don't worry. July is going to be different. And here's the question. What marathon should I do next for my reviews? Please subscribe, comment below, let me know. This is LTM signing out, and I hope you enjoyed Back to the 2000s marathon.
State-of-the-art jellyfish nets.
Touch.
Don't touch.
Wow, the harpoon from Jellyfish the movie.
Touch.
Don't touch.
Look, Dr. Manowar, the guy who got stung by Big Lenny and lived.
And now it only hurts when you touch it.
Touch.
Do I have to follow you?
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step, and then again, let's do Mario all together now. Come now, just like that. Dick.